Dad, isn't it time for illegal ham in the face? But bro, where's the banjo?
Some Cleveland sports shows try to give you hot takes, but only one can give you a big old piece of hot ham. Welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face. Talking all Cleveland sports. And don't forget our Fat Boy Tuesday, where we also ham it up with some fun food topics. Without further ado, let's serve up some ham. Here are the Ham Boys, Fatty, and Big Bry.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome on into Illegal Ham to the Face. We are now live during the fifth game of the Cleveland Cavaliers and Indiana Pacers, and right now, time check, 8:29. They're down by one. 5-4. Brian, what's going on, brother?
Oh, nothing. Keeping hope alive. That's all we can do right now.
James is in here.
What's up, James?
Justin's on the bike watching us.
What's up, Justin?
So thank you guys for coming in. We're going to do a short show tonight. I'm feeling a little under the weather, but we had to talk a little Cavs because we haven't talked to them since last week. And Brian, it is your turn for trivia this week, correct?
Yes, sir. It is.
All right. Shout outs, all the moms. Mother's Day. Brian, how was Ashley's Mother's Day? Did you take care of your mom too?
Yeah, great. Had my mom and my mother-in-law over for dinner last night. Asked Ashley what she wanted to do for her first Mother's Day, and her response was, "I'm going to put you to work." So we planted a garden, did a lot of work outside, so that was fine. But no, we had a nice day. I did have a dad fail in the morning, trying to make her morning as easy as possible and cook breakfast, which she kind of took over halfway through. Said, you're doing it too slow, because we had to hurry, get going to church at 10:30, and then I got baby dressed for church. Within 5 minutes, I put her dress on backwards, and then as I was getting ready, she crawls into the room here, this our guest room, and she finds one of my beers from last week, and she knocks it off the table. She gets beer all over her dress. So we go to church with a baby smelling like beer.
Nothing like that.
Not a fun one to try to explain. Yeah, how the heck do you explain that one?
But we made not that hard. It's not as hard as what you think. I mean, if you think about
I know,
it,
right?
Like she got it. I don't know what to do.
Could have happened to any of us.
Has already got baby peppers going. Yeah, it's
nice.
Dude, with all the rain and all the sunshine, man, we've been getting a lot of stuff popping right now. Time check, 7 minutes, 6-6. All right, Brian, let's get into our show. We do have trivia, which is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. I will play the little speed dial here, and then we will get a dog on here for you guys to check out. And here we go. Still this goober face, Bri. I can't help it. I haven't talked to Beth this week. Yeah, look at that face. Can't say no to a face like that. Get them at City Dogs Cleveland. They have their 5K coming up here in June. Mac for Mutts is on the 31st of May. That Saturday, go out there, bark in the park, have some fun. There's going to be some mac and cheese. There's going to be tailgating and all that stuff. So please go help out a City Dog if you can. All right, Bri, your turn for trivia. What do you got for me tonight?
Well, it's kind of a simple one, but it was one that I'm not sure I know the answer to, and I didn't even look it up. So maybe you'll know better than I will, or maybe one of us can look it up at the end. So I know the Browns division pretty well. Obviously, there's only 3 teams, so you know the 3 teams. I know the Guardians division, but I don't really know the Cavs. Who's in the Cavs division? Basketball. You don't hear much about divisions.
Oh shit, you're an ass. All right, Damn you.
I mean,
All
right? You can name NFL divisions to the back of your hand around the league. And baseball is
Mhm.
pretty similar. You know for sure who the Guardians are playing, but basketball you don't hear about divisions much. So I don't know. I just went by geography basically. I don't know if
Kind of
that's
here
correct or not.
too. Kind of here too. But the thing is like you have some West teams, you have some East teams. Man, okay, that's a good one, bud. All right, I like it.
We'll all learn something tonight, maybe, hopefully.
All right, all right. Stay tuned for the end of the show. Let's play our Cleveland headlines. We do have some Browns news to go first, and then we'll get into the Cavs. Here we go. About three pieces of Browns news. First off, rookie minicamp started, and everybody is drooling and goobering over Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. And Bry, it is just God. If you say something horrible about Shador Sanders, heaven forbid that happens, because you thought the Baker Bros and the Watson Bros were bad. Jesus God, here we go with these guys. Bry, it's going to be a circus until after training camp and everything else. And plus, but they're playing in shorts and t-shirts right now. Yeah, I love the throw that he threw, the deep ball. Love everything they're saying about Gabriel. They're saying it's the most zip on the ball they've seen here in Cleveland since, I think, Derek Anderson. So, yeah, I just kind of over Ricky. Also, buddy, your boy throwing up on the field, man. You gotta get the hunches out on that guy. I'm not gonna lie, because I was doing that today too. So, but everybody calling him out of shape and everything else. Like, guys, let's just stop overreacting. It is, May. It is way before anything. They're giving these guys some reps. Let's just wait till training camp and go from there.
Yeah, the thing with Mason Graham is there's nothing about him that is going to be impressive in May, even in training camp. Like, you look at his body, he's not a physical specimen. You look at his stats, he doesn't put up crazy stats, but he's just a difference maker on the field. So we're probably not going to be super impressed with anything Mason Graham does until hopefully the first week of September. But as far as, up until then, all the quarterback buzz is going to get all the headlines, and it's going to be a wild ride. I mean, we're starting already. As soon as the Cavs season is done, get prepared for Browns quarterback talk for about 3 or 4 months. And just how does their QB room look in September? Do they have 3? Do they have 4? Do they have 2 rookies? Do they have 1? It's just going to be a wild ride. So, yeah, I mean, I always say, I try to get excited for preseason and training camp. This is like 2 steps below all that stuff right now. So you're really kind of grasping at straws. It's just people excited to see professional football happening on a green field. So, yeah, I can't really get too excited or too down. It's good to hear that they both look good, I guess, that they don't look terrible, but that's about the only, pass fail that I can give it right now is, hey, they both passed the eye test for one weekend in shorts and t-shirts.
With a whole bunch of undrafted rookies.
Right,
and,
with a bunch of kids working in a grocery store in a couple weeks and doing your taxes.
I do have to say, though, the Browns pulled in some guys. I believe there was a guy from Miami of Ohio, a tight end. Was it an Akron wide receiver or Kent State wide receiver they brought in to work out?
Kent State, I think. Yeah.
Kent State. So they brought in some local guys around here to kind of work out. A couple of them got signed, so we'll see what happens with training camp and everything. But good for them. The other piece of news that came out, Bry, Andrew Berry was on 92.3 with Ken Carmen and Anthony Lima in the morning, and Bud, he had what we have talked about, and it is highly unlikely that they're going to re-sign Nick Chubb. He pretty much came out and said it, unless something happens drastically. And there's never a never, Bri, but the percentage of it happening now went from like, I don't know, maybe 20%. Now it's down to like 5. I mean, when he came out and said they like both rookies they drafted, and with Jerome Ford, it's kind of a kick in the dick. They gave the fans the bone when they signed Flacco back, but I don't think they're going to give him another bone with Nick Chubb, and it sucks because we all love him. We do, we really do love him. Fan favorite here, always will be a fan favorite, and it's nothing to do with personality wise, obviously, and everything like that. It's just right now, it's where it's team fit and where the Browns are at and where Nick Chubb is at in his life and his career. Because, Brian, would you sign him back here just for him to win 4-5 games and just run him in the mud and then just make it worse than what it is? Or would you like to leave him out on a high note and knowing that, he was probably, dare I say, since Jim Brown, one of the best running backs Cleveland's had? So,
yeah. I can't speak to certainly in my mind he is the second best Brown. Well, Marion Motley, it's just a different game back then.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in my lifetime, he's the best Browns tailback. And yeah, like I talked last week, it's fighting with your inner self. What's best for Nick Chubb as a player, as a person, and what's best for me as a fan. What's best for me as a fan to be able to watch him in the brown and orange again every Sunday. What's best for him? Yeah, he's not going to really want to come back to a situation like this. And, I thoroughly believe he can win a couple games by himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if the Browns are really interested in doing that right now. They're looking forward to the future, and yeah, I wish him the best. It sucks. It's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt to see him in a different uniform. But we've done it before. We did it with Bernie. We've done it with some other fan favorites. So yeah, I mean, I just hope we don't have to play him, because that would really turn the knife in our back. Is if he goes against us and has a Nick Chubb-esque game against us, because I'm sure there's got to be some ill will from Chubb towards the Browns that we didn't snatch him up right as free agency starts. Considering all he gave to this franchise, all he gave to this city, but we really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe they've had a cordial conversation. Oh shoot. All right, he's good. Donovan Mitchell went down, but he's good now.
Yeah, I saw it.
So yeah,
yeah.
All right, is he shooting free throws?
He will be. They're showing the replay of him getting getting blocked by the rim.
Yeah, got up. My goodness.
So, yeah, he's angry at himself right now. That was a perfect dunk coming, and we'll get into the Cavs here in a little bit. Okay, yeah, I get it with Chubb. Now, the last piece of Browns news before we move on to the Cavs, as we're watching the game live, 4:02, 15-12, 16-12, Cavs are up. Last piece of news, Bri, is that we finally broke the silence on one of the Browns players, and I'm saddened to say that he has been designated for the PUP. He will not play the entire year next year. And no, I'm not fucking talking about Deshaun Watson. I'm talking about JOK. Finally broke his silence, Bri. He's definitely going through some things. He's done multiple meetings with doctors, with the Browns, everything else. He finally put out a statement saying he wanted to thank all the Browns fans, the organization, everything else, trying to figure out what he needs to do for himself and his body. And Bri, when that statement was read like that, that screams, he's never going to play down a football again, probably ever. I feel horrible. Bright. I mean, you got to put him up there with one of the best linebackers. Not the best linebacker in Cleveland, but he's got to be top 5 that we've had in a long time. It sucks we're going to lose him for the entire year. Hopefully he can get healthy and get back, but Brian, right now, I think he just needs to focus on him getting healthy first and then seeing what the next step is. Because, Brian, he got injured in what, the Titans game? Was it tackling Derrick Henry?
Ravens.
Ravens game. And it was tackling Derrick Henry, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And, man, he has not been back since. And we haven't heard anything. It's been radio silent. How do you feel about the news that came out and his statement that came out?
Yeah, it's a bummer. I don't know if it's totally unexpected. Kind of, the eye-opening moment for me was when they took a linebacker as high as they did, even though they really don't value linebackers. They just kind of were saying, hey, we got nobody. And I think, I'm not maybe quite as bleak as you are on his future. I think there's tons of time. There's 450 days until the 2026 season starts. So that's tons of time. I don't know what his doctors are telling him, but I would think if they're telling him there's no chance you're playing again, he would just retire. So I think there's at least a chance, but nobody really knows. I'm sure even the doctors don't know right now what his future holds. They're just waiting to see how his neck heals. And, as somebody who's never dealt with a neck injury, I can't really speak to the timetable for that, but I'm just hopeful. And you fight, saying woe is me and getting down on yourself and us as a fan base. And like, why does this have to happen to the Browns? We get this Pro Bowl linebacker finally, and he's young. He's got tons of time, a long career left in front of him, and then this happens. And he's really. I thought I heard something today that he's one of very few guys to have 100 tackles in a season and 20 tackles for loss. So like he's in rarefied air with some of his play that he had recently. I think he was on task to do that again this past season. So there's just so many highlights from the last year and a half of where the team's not playing well, but JOK is just flying around making plays. So we're definitely going to miss him this year. Like I said, still hopeful that he can contribute for this franchise in the future. But for me to say I know for sure that it's this way or that way, it's just way too early to tell. But last 6 months, not hearing a whole lot about it, and then what they did in the draft, you kind of saw this in the cards for maybe not to rule him out for the entire season in May, but that it was going to be a struggle for him to get back this year.
It just, for me, Brian, it just seemed weird because, when he got injured, there was no definite of what the injury was. Like, nobody came out and it's like, well, it's just a neck injury. Okay, well, there's a lot of things that could be a neck injury. Did he have a pinched nerve? Is it this? Still, it's not coming out with that. Sitting out the entire year last year. I mean, what was that, week 5, week 6?
No. Was it that early?
I think it was early enough that I'll have to look at the schedule, but I think it was earlier.
Well, and don't
year,
forget, Peyton Manning missed an entire year with a neck injury, and then he came back and won a Super Bowl. I know they played two different positions. Also, Peyton Manning doesn't get hit by the neck when linebackers get hit by the neck all the time when they're tackling. So it's sure. There's a greater risk, right?
Let's see here. Browns schedule game. By the way, how do you feel about the Browns playing in London on October 5th?
I think I'm failing to see a whole lot of excitement at this point in this Browns season. So I'm just at this point, I'm just kind of numb to it. I know once we get into the season, I'll still be watching every game. And, if we get a quarterback in there that's playing well, I'm going to root hard for him and get caught up in the moment. But right now, it's just, whatever.
All right. It was week 8, Bri.
Week 8. So that was the game we beat the Ravens.
Mm-hmm. No,
right?
Bri,
okay, because we played them in the final week, too.
Yeah. The only thing that I hate about the London games and the overseas games is, like, Bri, I know you have season tickets. And for the people that have season tickets, do you guys get reimbursed that game?
No, you don't have to pay for it. No, instead of getting like 9 games, you just get 8 games or whatever. Which I'm guessing, this is me maybe speaking out of school a little bit, but I'm guessing most Browns fans for this year, having one less home game, they probably don't care a whole lot about that. Now, I mean, there's always the social aspect to Browns games.
Yeah, but you can still go to the bar at 10 o'clock in the morning and watch the game in London. The only thing I worried about is that season ticket holders were actually paying for that game in London when it's not a home game. Okay.
No way.
Because that's why I got upset for the longest time. Like, you're paying your hard-earned money for them to play in London, and you can't even go watch the game. Like, most people can't afford that.
That would be ridiculous. Yeah, that would be absurd if they did that. I mean, but basically, they make you pay full price for preseason games where you might see 3 starters play. So that's ridiculous in its own right.
All right, Cavs are up 21-14, Brian. Let's talk about the Cavs now. Friday, it was an all-time high. Man, just beating the Pacers that way. Everybody's back. And then Sunday was an all-time low. Obviously, we're down 3-1. We're winning right now. But Brian, it looks bleak. And I'm not saying that they can't come back and win. The series, I can't say any of that because, something weirder things have happened. But, Brian, this is not the way I thought this series would go. Brian, they got out-muscled, out-physicaled, out everything. In Game 4, they were down 43 points at one point in time. I think it was 80 to something at halftime. Like, Brian, it was embarrassing. Brian, it was just embarrassing. And to go out like that, like I thought after that Game 3, Brian, they would win Game 4, and this would be an even series coming back here. I really did. I thought that was the page turner. And then Indiana just decided, no, this isn't going to happen this way. I mean, should we give more kudos to Indiana for playing the way they're playing or be more disappointed in the Cavs and the way they're playing?
I think both. You don't have one team outscore the other team by 41 points in 2 quarters, and it's just a one-sided effort. I mean, one team has to play really poorly, one team has to play really well. I mean, they scored 80 points, so you have to give them their flowers there. But we scored 39. So, like, the first quarter was so terrible, and I think we got outscored by 15 or 16, and then we follow that up and we get outscored by like 26 in the second quarter. Like, they outscored us by 26 points, which is hard to do because most teams don't even score 26 points in a quarter. So, I mean, I don't know about you, how your viewing experience was on Sunday night, but we got down by 25. I said, all right, I'll give them a chance to claw back into this thing. And then, they couldn't. So I turned away from it. I just can't watch us get embarrassed like that.
Dude,
but I keep an eye on it.
I made it to halftime, and as soon as I saw the halftime score, I was like, right now, pull the starters out, get ready for Game 5, because there's no coming back from this, no matter how well. I mean, they fought back. They clawed back and made it, like an 18-point game at the end or something like that. But still, Bri, it was – Donovan Mitchell was off that night. Everybody was off a little bit that night, and they just beat you up physically. They seriously beat you up physically. Like, Brian, I thought the turning point in this game would have been the technical foul with DeAndre Hunter and that little punch that was it Mabram or whatever the hell his last name is.
Mathurin.
I thought he hit him in the nuts at first. I really did.
Yeah, so did I.
I was like, man, he just cold clocked him right in the dick. And no, that didn't happen. But, man, when DeAndre Hunter came back and pushed him down, I'm like, all right, there's the fire that the Cavs need. This should get them going. And, Brian, it just didn't even happen. Like, they were just going through the motions out there. And it was like, okay, Indiana is out physicaling you. They're outplaying you right now. They're out hustling you. And you're just taking it. Like, you're not even trying to fight back right now. What the hell is going on? Where was this at on, like, Game 3? Like, where's Game 3 Cavs at? Because that team took it to them. Like, it was just like, okay, we're just going to let you guys take this. And we're going to lay down. Like if they get bounced, say tonight or this series, like I don't think they're going to lose tonight, but I think they might lose back in Indiana. But if they lose this series, all right, and they go down in the second round again, are you breaking this team up and making some changes?
I think certainly you have to have that conversation. You know me. This goes way back.
Oh, I know.
To after the Knicks series, after we lost to the Knicks a couple years ago, I was like, we have two small guards and we have two big guys that are really nice guys that don't really seem to have the physicality to compete in the playoffs. And I begged Jared Allen to go to the weight room, put on 20 pounds of muscle. You know, even if you're not a nasty, mean guy, you can still push guys around. And he didn't. You know, these guys, they know their game. They don't really adjust their game a whole lot. So yeah, I'm not going to cook them yet. There'll be time for that. If we lose a series, we can talk about it next week. But yeah, I think you have to at least have a conversation now. The injury to Tatum last night really changes the landscape of the Eastern Conference for next year. So I could see a scenario, and I wouldn't be totally against them saying, all right, let's run it back one more year. Boston's not really going to be a factor. But Indiana, as we're finding out, they're nothing to mess around with. I think they're like 42-16 in the last, since January or since the first of the year. Oh, this was ridiculous. Did you see this? I
was waiting for your reaction. I already seen it.
The half-court heave, and they called it a three-pointer or something. Well, that's BS. But, I mean, certainly we've gotten some calls. You know, as bad as it was on Sunday night, believe it or not, the first half could have been worse. Do you remember? Like, the free throw discrepancy was majorly in our favor in that first. We were like 12 of 14 when I kind of turned away, and the Pacers were like 2 of 3 or something like that. So we outshot them at the free throw line by a bunch. So even though we were getting crushed, it could have been so much worse. I mean, it was an all-time ugly half that, is just inexcusable. So that's going to stick with you. I mean, you'll think back to that game if they lose the series at all, even if they lose it in 7 in a heartbreaker, you're going to think back to that game 4 and just how I don't know. I don't know how that happens. You just don't show up in a game that you really have to win. They kind of remind me of the Browns that rather than finishing the job and writing home and getting the win and getting out of there, they thought, oh, well, we figured something out in game 3, so we're good now. We're good. We just got them. We're just going to win this series and, go on to the Eastern Conference Finals. And it just doesn't work like that. So, yeah, it's just lack of focus. It was, I don't know. I wanted to come on here and talk about how great game 3 was, but game 4 was just atrocious and
sucks the life out of game 3. It really does. It sucks the life out of game 3. And you and I were texting the entire time during game 3, like, this is
I didn't.
Like, where was this
text
team
at
at?
all in game 4.
Yeah. Wait, I texted
show you.
Hey, I texted you one time, and my one text were Cavs are cold, Pacers are hot. And then you just wrote back pretty embarrassing or just
pathetic.
It's like pathetic. Yeah. And, especially with the game on the line. Brian, how do you see this series playing out now? Obviously, we got to win 3. They only got to win 1. We technically still have 2 games at home. If we get it to a game 7, do you think it's going to go to a game 7? Still? Do you still have hope? Because, hey, there's our little Jose Cato at work that's still throwing up the 7 sign at me. Like, oh, it's going to go game 7. You got to have faith. And it's kind of hard to have faith when you got pummeled like that in game 4.
Yeah, I think at this point, if I had to bet on it, I would say we win tonight. Maybe in convincing fashion. I think, what are we up, 10 or 12 or something right now?
12.
12. It's not going to be easy, though. They're going to
No.
go on a run, and they're going to cut it down. I think it's going to look a lot like Game 2, where maybe we don't get that big of a lead, and I don't think we blow it in the end. But they're going to test you in the second half, and they're going to make you earn it. So I think we get a big lead, maybe 15, maybe 17, but they're going to cut it down. And so I think after that, going back to Indiana, Game 6, it's going to be a major challenge. I have faith. I have hope that we can beat them, and I truly believe we can. But, man, that's going to be a difficult game. And then, if we can find a way to pull that off, Game 7's no gimme either. I mean, don't go back to your Game 4 mentality that, okay, we won 2 in a row. We're going Game 7. We're going home again. We got this. I mean, just think back. I would show them, if we get to a Game 7, show them tape of Game 7 of the Orlando series last year, because they took you to the brink. We were down double digits, and we had to come back to beat them and win the series. So, I mean, every game, tonight is probably the easiest game that the Cavs have left. Game 6 is probably going to be the most difficult. Then Game 7 is not going to be any picnic in the park. So we're going to have to earn it. And, what scares me is it seems like after every game we have a new injury report, new injury update. Like, I went to bed after Game 4, and I stopped watching it probably in the second quarter, and then I peeked back and, okay, we're down 30 now. Okay, we're down 35 now. Okay, I'm done with it. And I checked it one last time before I fell asleep, and we were down 40. So I'm like, all right, this game's over. And I wake up the next morning to first thing I see is Kenny Atkinson getting asked about Donovan Mitchell's ankle. And I go, oh, great. What the heck is this about? So, I mean, assuming we can stay healthy, which is a huge assumption, we're probably, we've been favored in every game so far. So that's the crazy thing. So if we win tonight and we win in convincing fashion, we might be favored in Game 6. And certainly we'll be favored in Game 7. But Indiana is not going to hand you anything. It's not going to be easy. They're going to make you work. You're not going to blow them out by 30 or 40 points. It's not going to happen. They're going to make you work. They're going to make you work in the second half. So, I mean, we talked even before the series started that they're going to test your adversity, and they're doing it. We just have to take the next step and look forward to what we can do in the second half, because that's where we've been faltering. We get it close Game 1 in the fourth quarter, and then we just run out of gas or whatever they said. So it's just, I don't know. I'm gonna be nervous pretty much every minute that is remaining in basketball for the rest of this series, because I got comfortable. What was it, last Tuesday, Game 2? I got comfortable. I kind of fell asleep on the couch, and my wife wakes me up like with 30 seconds left. Like, you want to watch the end of this game? They're coming back. And I wake up and I see the final 30 seconds. I go, oh, this is ridiculous. I just go to bed because I thought we had it won. That's why I laid on the couch and I just kind of dozed off and woke up to a nightmare.
10 minutes in the second quarter, 36-19. Hunter just hit a 3. And
nice. Yep,
4,
there it is.
2, 1, splash.
Got it.
All right.
This is good. This is what we needed, but yeah, they're struggling offensively. They probably got an and one. Game 2, they scored 15 points in the first quarter. And then they ended with 120. So, I mean, we need to focus for 48 minutes. If we don't, they're probably going to beat us.
Exactly. All right, Brian, I believe, God, I want them to go to Game 7. I pray they go to Game 7, because at that point in time, you got to a Game 7 and let the chips lay where they lay. At that point in time, Game 7, I mean, I would honestly, Tristan Thompson, get your ass in there and get 6 fouls. Like, I would be pulling some shit like that in Game 7. Just to, level the playing field, I guess I would say. But other than that, Bri, they need to get to a Game 7 to not make this season, dare I say, just a depressing fail. Because you and I both had them going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, we both had them losing to Boston, but looks like Boston's getting ready to be taken care of by New York. And now with Tatum out, that's a huge ass blow to them. So, like, this is getting crazy to where nobody even picked the Pacers. Pacers got hot in the second half of the season. Rick Carlisle ain't a bad coach, people. He really ain't. And he has got this team playing like, what was it, Game 3? Halliburton only had 4 points. And then he comes out and does what he did in Game 4. You can't just sleep on these guys. They're tough bulldog mentality with them. I hope it goes to Game 7, Bri. But the heart and the Cleveland fan in me just sucks the life out of the room of like, yes, we came back from 3-1 once, but we had LeBron James in his prime. I don't see LeBron James on this team. You know, I don't see Kyrie Irving.
Donovan Mitchell's putting the team on his back. So there you go. The last thing you just said, Kyrie Irving. We don't have a Kyrie Irving. We don't have a second guy to step up and take the burden from the first. Donovan Mitchell can, if he's healthy, he'll give you 40. But we have no other guy now. Evan Mobley tonight is being more aggressive. I don't know how many. He might have 12 points already. He's definitely being more aggressive.
I bet him over combo.
He at least has 10. He's taken a lot of shots. I've seen him, take the ball at the 3-point line and try to make a move and back smaller defenders down. And so I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen this Evan Mobley before, maybe because of the injury. But
Mitchell's got 13, Mobley's got 12, Allen's got 8, Garland's got 2, and Hunter's got 5.
Yeah, we need a contribution from Darius Garland. I know he's hurt. I know he's not 100%, but we can't have Ty Jerome is a head case at this point. And we can't have two of our star guards, 2 of our top 4 scoring options to just give us absolutely nothing. Something's going to have to change.
All right, Brian, let's end the show so we can go watch the rest of the first half and get ready in the second half, because obviously I've been kind of in and out on the feed here because I've been taking care of some other things. Brian, we're not doing obviously top 3 tonight. We're not doing Fat Boy Tuesday. We'll get back to our normal time next week. Apologize for that. I know a lot of people love Fat Boy Tuesday, and especially a lot of people love our top 3 now because they've been chiming in a lot on it. But we'll pick it up next Tuesday when we get back, when the playoffs kind of dwindle down. And I'm sorry we haven't talked a lot of guards. With the NBA playoffs going on, with the NFL draft going on, guards kind of took a back seat until basketball season's over with, and then we'll talk guards up until football season, and we'll get going with that. Bri, you had trivia. Trivia was, who is in the same division as the Cleveland Cavaliers? I know
the Central Division.
I think so. I think I think it's the Bulls.
Okay, I'm with you there.
The Pistons.
I don't know for sure about the Pistons. Like I said, I probably should have looked it up. Oh yeah, no, Pistons. You're right. Pistons. Yes.
Pistons.
Pacers. I don't know.
I think the Pacers, and I don't know who else. I think there's only 4
Bucks,
in the
maybe?
division. I know, because the Bucks are in the West, aren't they? Or no, they're in the East.
They're in the East, yeah.
We're Central Division, right?
I believe so. I think there's 5 teams. That would be my guess.
Oh,
I would
shit.
say Pacers, Pistons,
Pistons
Bulls,
not
and
right
Bucks.
There. Oh, no, that's the Eastern Conference, Central Division. The Bulls, the Cavs, the Pistons, Pacers, and Bucks. So those are the 5.
All right, so we had it. Yep. There we go.
All right.
Learning something new tonight.
Yeah,
40
I didn't
years
realize.
I didn't know that.
I thought, for some odd reason, I kept thinking the Bucks were in the West, and it's Minnesota that's in the West, not Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
And and the Bulls just suck. By the way, Jose Cotto, I hope you're watching this. The Bulls still suck. Just
Has
keep
he been
rubbing that
talking
in for
trash about the Pope being from Chicago?
him. You mean, hold on,
Being
Bri,
a White
do you
Sox
mean,
fan?
Bri, do you mean the Pope?
The Pope? Yeah.
The Pope.
Crazy.
We're gonna- hey, that's
200
gonna be
and how many popes have there been? And first American born one?
hey,
Pretty cool.
we're gonna have to dress up as the Pope for Halloween this year.
I'm in. I
Must-
got to get the
mustaches
mustache
and
out.
all.
So, yeah. Did I tell you? I last time we were growing them, I had family pictures like the day before or the day after our show, so they didn't turn out great.
Amazing.
My mom wasn't happy.
She's
Our
got a
mom,
deal.
same with my wife. She was not. She didn't like it either.
That lip caterpillar is a staple at a certain establishment on the east side. When we used to have Mustache Mondays, we used to have mustache tournaments.
All right, I forgot about mustache
Uh-huh.
Mondays.
We had somebody had the curly tail, the monkey tail. You came in with the pencil
Oh yeah,
thin.
shout out to Jeff,
You came in with the pencil thin.
which was hard to do. It didn't really
Didn't
go
turn out
over.
great.
Never did the Hitler stash though.
You had the furry caterpillar.
It was a bridge too far.
Who came in with
The handlebar.
No, it was
the
the
Hulk Hogan.
handlebar. Yeah, no, it wasn't even the Hulk Hogan. It was the straight into the sideburns. Somebody came in with that one.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Phillips.
I think it might have been Phillips that came in with that one. But yeah, we got to bring back a mustache episode, Bri. Glorious that it was. All right, we're getting off of
Getting
here.
pretty thick.
I can see that. It's a lot better than what it used to be, buddy. Unlike this one, it's blonde now.
I got a couple white hairs. I got one long white hair in there, so doesn't
I
look
got
great.
it on the chin now. All right, let's close out the show. We want to thank everybody for watching. Please give us a like, subscribe on all of our socials at Ham Illegal. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, Justin and everybody else. Sorry, I'm kind of under the weather and not feeling good. I'd be more energetic than what I am now, but I apologize. Brian, God bless him.
God bless you. God bless America. God bless the Cleveland Cavaliers. Up 17 now.
All right, let's go, Cavs.
So we got it,
Let's
right?
bring on.
Game over. Sure.
You shut your face right now. After that comment, I'm betting the Pacers as soon as we get off of here.
Oh, they're covering for
Yes.
sure, whatever the spread is now.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I want to thank our troops, first responders. Hopefully, everybody had a happy Mother's Day. Catch us next Tuesday live here between 7 and 7:15 p.m. or whatever time we decide to go live. And on that note, we're definitely uncorked, unloaded. We're out. We will see you guys next Tuesday. Have a great night.